Do not get on this cruise thinking that MSC is Carnival, because it's not. It's not. Is the heart of a woman. Hey y'all, it's Monet back with another video. Today I am going to be giving a review of the MSC Cruise Line, an honest review of our experience. I know this video is a little late because today is February 4th, but I was like, I want to give them my honest review because I know I told you guys from the beginning I was very nervous about going on this cruise line because I've only cruised with Carnival Cruise Line. So I was able to ask my boyfriend some questions and how he felt about the cruise because it was his first cruise. So I took some notes for him to let y'all know his experience versus like my experience, which I think we're pretty much on the same page. But I'm like able to compare like my prior experiences to how MSC was. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. If you have not seen the cruise vacation or the Miami vacation, because we did spend a day in Miami, go back and watch those videos so then you can see what it's kind of like given. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So we went to MSC Cruise Line. We were specifically on the Seaside ship, which was a 2-night or 3-day, however, it was the three-day cruise. I'll say 3-day cruise. And we left on January 2nd and we came back on January 5th. So we left on a Friday and we came back Monday. So to start the boarding process, for myself compared to Carnival, I want to say I want to give MSC their props. I think our boarding time was around 1:30. However, we had to check out of the hotel at probably like 10 or 11 a.m. that morning. I can't remember the exact time, but we weren't too far from the port. So I had made sure that I called ahead of time to say, hey, are we able to come to board? Because we had nowhere to go. We just have luggage. Who wants to just drive around, or because we're not even driving, we don't even have a car. Who wants to just ride around and lug around luggage until it's time to board the cruise ship? So I will say I talked to customer service and they told me like, yes, you can come early. Like there's no problem at all with that. So we went before 1:30. We probably, as soon as we left the hotel, we went straight there. So I'm trying to see what time did we get there. Let me see, because I still have some footage in I think I still have footage in my phone. We got on the ship exactly at 11:57. We're walking through the thing. So from, the process of getting through, customs or, whatever the process is, y'all know the name of it. It's a big gap between us being able to board at 1:30. So I want to thank them for allowing us to even board earlier than our scheduled time. And I understand your time that they provide you, because we didn't even get to select the time. We booked this cruise literally maybe like a week before it was scheduled to leave. I would say no more than 2 weeks. So it was booked. It was sold out. So we didn't have a chance to pick what time we wanted to board the ship. So yes, thank MSC for allowing us to do that. The process was very, very smooth, and I understand, that's what I was about to say, I understand that the time that they give you or the time that you select, it's to allow everything to go smoothly. So everybody's not getting there at one time. The lines are super long. People, annoyed, and you just standing there for hours and hours or however long. So it's to have structure. But the boarding process, I felt was very organized. He indicated that he felt that it was also organized. Everybody was smiling. The process was like literally fast. If you go watch the video, we're literally walking through the doors. And of course I chopped it out because we have to give like our birth certificate, passport, whatever the case may be. Which when you do walk in, they have a passport side and they have a birth certificate side. The birth certificate side line was not long at all. So we went to the birth certificate side. I know I'm talking fast, and it went very, very very fast. The people were happy. we didn't have service. I would say we did not have service in there, so they did ask us the room number, but everything was like on your phone, because when it's time, you have to download this app, and your boarding pass is on your phone. So because we didn't have service, I was trying to connect to Wi-Fi, and luckily I had sent it to my boyfriend, so he was able to pull it up on his phone. But it was no problem at all. I think like they searched our name because I had the room number wrong, but it was like no problem at all. They didn't have any dogs sniffing like how they have at Carnival, because normally, you know, they have the dogs sniffing to make sure that you are not bringing on any contraband or, you know, things like that. That was like different to me, because I definitely thought that we were gonna have dogs. We weren't taking nothing on, but it was just different. I don't know if it's because we were earlier in the day or what, but there were no dogs to sniff. The only kind that my boyfriend had, because I wrote his stuff down, was the converter belt. You know how you put your luggage on and things like that to go through the thing for them to look. I can't think of the name of it, but when they're looking through your bags through the screen and things like that, you had to push your bag, I think, like through it, and then it went through, and then you had to get the bag and pull it down and pull it off. That wasn't working, but other than that, the process was very, very smooth. I don't have any complaints about the boarding process. So we get through TSA, customs, whatever you guys want to call it, and of course we're walking up on the ship. Like I told you guys, we are walking up. Go watch the video. We're walking on though, and the first impression of the ship when you get on is like insane. The interior designer of this ship, they did their big one. Compared to Carnival 3-day ships, which I can't even think of their names off the top of my head, MSC, 10 out of 10. The design is very well. Whoever created it, whoever had the thought, like everything just looks so crystal, so clean. My first impression was just like, oh my god, this ship is actually really beautiful. For him, like I said, it was his first time on the ship, so he thought the ship was like very, very big. He did say like it's a lot of walking. As you know, ships are big, so it's like a lot of walking and things like that. But that ship was big, okay? When it relates to the room, I think it was better than Carnival. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm comparing, you gotta listen to me, I'm comparing the 3-day ships. So I understand that Carnival has bigger ships, but sometimes people are not able to take longer periods of days of work off. So you're gonna book a weekend cruise. So that's gonna be a Friday to a Monday, 3-day cruise. So I'm comparing the same. They're both 3-day cruises, and that's what I'm comparing. I'm not comparing a 3-day cruise to a 7-day cruise ship that is upgraded and, you know, with the vibes now. I'm comparing the same things. The room definitely looks better than Carnival, not gonna lie. The bathroom looks better. To me, it looks more spacious. It looks like more room. Like I said, if you haven't watched the video, you have to go see for yourself, because I did give like a little room tour. And of course, when you're on camera, things still look a little bit smaller and things like that. But being there in present, the room was definitely bigger than Carnival's 3-day ship. The TV was bigger than Carnival 3-day ship. The only thing that I will say is their closet space on MSC was not roomy at all. Now, Carnival, they have those things that you open up, you can pick up your suitcase and put it in. No, MSC, you had to like slide this little door, and it was very hard to get our luggages in, to the point that we left mine in and we left his on the couch until we were probably like leaving out of the room, and we wanted to just put his stuff up, you know, zip up his suitcase and just throw it in. But even then, it was a little complicated because they have this one part where it's like shelves, and I don't know if it was drawers, but I think it was just shelves, I can't remember, where you could just sit stuff on. So I feel like they could eliminate that and just give all actual closet space so that you can put your luggages, because we had 2 book bags and we had 2 luggages because we packed separately. So that was a con about the room. You have like a little bar that's in your room that has like drinks in there already. They're not free. You're supposed to pay for those. I don't know, somehow I did get a pop because I was thirsty and I think I had a headache and I took some medicine, but I didn't get charged for it. Don't know, but there is a sheet where I guess you will write either if you take something or if you need to replace something, and then when your room agent come in, you know, they will refill it, restock your refrigerator for you. When it relates to the showers and things like that, of course, the showers are small. We know this. You're on a ship. You're not at home. But I will say I didn't have any problems out of the water pressure, the water temperature. I believe previously, you know, when people are running showers at the same time, I believe I've heard complaints about, you know, water temperatures and pressures and things like that. But I didn't have any problems out of that at all. We did book the balcony suite. Let me see if I have the name of it. I am such a balcony girl. I've only had balconies on the cruises. So once you go balcony, you can't pick nothing else unless you're going up to a suite. Not gonna lie to you. But what I learned with MSC, they have different packages based on what you want. All right, y'all, I'm sorry. I was scrolling through to try to find it. So we booked the cruise December 21st. That's what we booked. That's when we booked. We booked the 21st. I'm trying to find exactly what we booked. If I'm going to give y'all the details, I may as well just give y'all everything, right? I'm going to have to try to find it. I'm sorry. But yeah, so we booked the balcony. We didn't get any drink packages or anything like that, and we'll get into that. But I'll rate the ship very, very beautiful, very, very up to date compared to the Carnival ships that I've been on that are 3-day time frames. So very beautiful. When it relates to the customer service and the people there, very friendly, very, very friendly, very happy. Every corner you turn in, they saying good morning, they're saying hi. Our room agent, we really didn't need anything from him. But when we did, he was like on it. If we had questions, he would answer. And I'll get into that part as well. And I asked my boyfriend, how did he think the customer service was? And he indicated they may not understand you, but they will greet you and smile every time. And that's the truth. Because you gotta think they have an accent. It's certain things that we may try to explain, like, I know I was in a store prior to us getting on the ship in Miami, and I was asking about socks, and the lady didn't understand what I was helping understand what I was asking her, but she was still nice. So I get where he's coming from. They may not understand what you're asking them all the time, depending on who you're talking to and the word and the terminology that you're using, but they were always nice. Let me spit this gum out. And he said that he didn't see, because he heard about upside down pineapples. I still don't even know what that signals, but I didn't see any of that either. I think it's like people that swing and stuff like that, swingers. I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it, because I don't really know what it means, but I know it's something dealing with, you know, some freaky stuff or something to that nature. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the food. I will say I had my favorite selections. He had his favorite selections. How can I word this? I won't say it's better than Carnival, because I'm going to compare. I have to compare the two, because what else am I going to compare it to? If I say like, oh no, I didn't like it, people are going to ask or wonder like, oh, how was it compared to this? Because, you know, they're a popular cruise line. The fries to me were very good. That was my favorite go-to. The carbs, I'm thinking they done told me up, because I'm not eating any carbs at this moment. I'm trying to eat healthier. The fries was good. The pizza, it was okay. It was like hit or miss. The breakfast, what did I have for breakfast? I can't remember, but I know they had like very good selections. So that's what I would say. They had a lot of good selections. The only downside is we don't eat red meat or pork, so that's the difference. So I can't even let you guys know how the burgers were, because guys burgers 10 out of 10 on Carnival, but I can't compare it because I did not have a burger when I was on MSC. I stuck to French fries, pizza, and you may see me eating pizza and pepperonis are on there. Half of the time I was picking those off, so don't be like, oh, she said she don't eat pork, but she was just eating pizza. But yeah, it was good. I can't remember what I had for breakfast though. I know I had some good fruit. I didn't have, my stomach was just growling. I didn't have any of the omelets. I seen they had an omelet station. But he was eating the french fries. They had some chicken hot dogs. And he was telling me, like, growing up as a kid, he loved hot dogs. So he did try the chicken hot dogs. And he said that he actually liked those. I didn't try those. The people at the buffet, the service people that were assisting, because I don't want to call them workers, but, you know, the cooks and the people that were serving the food, they were very friendly. There was no problem with that. And every day, it just seemed like they had something good. The only ick that I recall him having was, it was people, like, literally not using the utensils to grab certain items, and they was using their hands. And I know that irritated him so bad. Like, it was a lady, like, literally just reaching in, touching stuff. Another thing that he said that he liked was they had non-dairy ice cream. Or dairy-free, however you want to word it. Dairy-free ice cream. He loved that. I didn't get to try that. We did do the dining experience the first night, which was his actual birthday. I had the salmon. I believe I had mashed potatoes. I can't remember, but I know I had the salmon. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. I had to put some salt and black pepper on it, I believe, but it could have been seasoned. He had the lobster, and I can't remember what else he had with the lobster. He couldn't remember either. But he said he liked it. I know that much. So, dining experience was very good. Of course, you have your assigned time. We went at our assigned time. I did hear reviews prior to us going saying, like, you have to dress a certain way. We just made sure that we were covered up. So we didn't have any problems with entering the dining room at all. And that was the only night that we actually ate in the dining room. Let's see what else we have. My boyfriend is a big sports head. So they had all the games on. Well, I won't say all the games. They had selected times, or they had times on the app of what games we'll be playing. And they have a sports bar. So we did go to the sports bar. And one thing I would say, if you go on MSC Cruise, when I tell y'all, if you look at the video, I believe I had a part in there saying, like, I smell some buffalo wings. And that's so bad. Like, if I could smell some wings, it's definitely giving big back. The sports bar has these wings. And I ordered us some. And they were so good to me. I think he liked them too. The only thing I did not like is you could not order any french fries. The only way that you could get french fries in the sports bar is if you ordered the cheeseburger. I don't want a cheeseburger. I just want the chicken and the fries. And the buffet was not that far from the sports bar. But I didn't want to be that person bringing food from the buffet into the sports bar. So I just ate the chicken. And it was really good. The sports bar was very, very nice. They had, like, booths. You might as well say. They had, like, private booths where you could sit. You, your boo, you, whoever. If you find a little buddy on a cruise, y'all two could just be in a little private little booth. And then they had bigger sections, I should say. And then, of course, the bar portion. And then they had, like, a big screen where they had tables in front of high tops and low tops. So it was really, really nice. You could feel the vibes and the energy in there of the men, you know, rooting their team. And then you got the ladies sitting next to their man or their dad or brother or whatever the case may be. You had people in there taking shots and doing little tricks with the little shots and things like that. It was enjoyable. I think I only sat with him to halftime for like 2 of the games. And then I would be going back to the cabin, laying down, and was leaving him in there to watch, you know, the games. Oh. One comment my boyfriend mentioned, and I totally agree. I kid you not. We were sitting in the sports bar watching the games, and we see kids. I seen a baby. I definitely saw a baby. And we was wondering, why are kids in the bar? Like, I get it's a cruise. And then, don't get me wrong, it was late. I can't remember the time. But I was like, I thought they had bedtimes for the kids on the cruise. And they weren't like teenage kids. They were like little kids. Why are these little kids in a bar? I think they should have an age for that. And I get like this is kind of like I don't want to say a family ship because I don't know if it's that. But to have kids in a bar? What else? And since we on the top of the bars, I have down here the club. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. If I'm comparing it to my other cruise experience, that is not a club. That's not the type of club I done been to in the past. And let me tell y'all from the jump. This is not Carnival. MSC is not Carnival. Do not go on this cruise thinking that you're about to get Carnival vibes, because you're going to be very disappointed. Especially if you want a turn up type of time. I think we're at the age, like, yeah, we like music and things like that, but everything don't got to be a turn up. Don't get me wrong. We like to have fun. But at the end of the day, we still both came to the conclusion that we enjoyed ourselves on this cruise. No matter if we were together separately, because it was times that we were together and it was times that we were not together. And I felt for myself, I'm going to word it this way. I felt for myself that it was needed because I was able to relax and not do anything at all. And then for him, he was able to just be free, no work, eating his favorite things, which he told me. He was like, he enjoyed eating his favorite things and doing the things that he liked to do, which is watching football, you know. So we both had our own experience separately and, you know, together, because we did go to, like, you know, one of the shows and, you know, walked around and stuff like that. But do not get on this cruise thinking that MSC is Carnival, because it's not. It's not. So don't say Monet said she had a good time and it was turned up, da da da. No, I told you I had a good time and I relaxed. Club, 0 out of 10. The music, 0 out of 10. And I won't even say the music was 0 out of 10. But if you going to the club, you thinking you about to hear you some hits, this is not the club that you need to be going to, baby. No. I don't even recall hearing one African American song on this cruise. You have to remember, MSC is I believe, an Italian cruise line. Let me see. Don't give me the line. I'll keep typing Macy's. They trying to get me to spend some money. Don't get on this shit thinking that. You're going to be mad. Especially if you're young. If you're under 30 and you're looking for a turn up, this is not it. Or if you're 30 and above and you still in your lit area, this might not be the ship for you. This might not be the cruise line for you. I'm not even going to say ship. This may not be the cruise line for you. Okay? My boyfriend said the DJ sucked. He said they could have played some non-aggressive music, you know, because it is some hip-hop and it's some R&B that's not raw. It's not aggressive. It's not, oh, shoot 'em up type of music. But they didn't play any of that. And then another thing, it was kids in the club. It was kids in the club. The kid's ready to go to sleep. We got a kid over here crying. We waiting for them to get up and move with the strollers. This baby wants to go to bed. Y'all still want to party. Because you got to think, this is their vibe. This is the type of music that they listen to. This is what they like. So, yeah, why is it kids in the club? And it's like 10, 11 at night. Why? These kids need to be in the bed. Club gets 0 out of 10 for me and him. Next, so you know, when you go on a cruise, they have spas, they have gyms and things like that you can take advantage of. Excuse me. My boyfriend went to the gym. I went to tour it with him, but I did not work out in the actual gym. And he said the gym was good enough for him. I believe he said he utilized the flat benches, or they needed flat benches. I wrote little notes on here, but clearly it's not clear enough for me to be telling y'all what he said. But he said that while he was on the treadmill, he could see the water. So that's like a good view. You working out and you could see the water. That's a vacation. Okay. That's amazing. I put cabin on here and I put good. I think we've already talked about the cabin. I think I told you guys that when I was boarding on, or whatever the case may be, the cabin was very relaxing. The bed was relaxing. No complaints about the cabin other than the closet space. Let me tell y'all something, because I'm about to tell y'all about the Star Walker show, which is inspired by Michael Jackson. So this is the only show that we went to, because all the other shows... Alright, y'all. I'm sorry, my camera was overheating. And I just learned something about this camera. It's more so for when you like moving around and stuff like that. So that's why I'm fanning it, because I really want to finish this video. I don't want to stop, because if I stop, I'm not going to finish the review. And then y'all going to be waiting, and it's going to be March, April when y'all getting a review video. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I was talking about the Star Walker show. And I hope that's not affecting how y'all hear. But I was talking about the Star Walker show. We were not able to see any other show because we were sleeping. So the Star Walker show, which is inspired by Michael Jackson, was the only show that we saw. And when I tell y'all, 10 out of 10. I was so excited to see this show. At first, you do everything through your phone, like the app. So any show that you want to see, you book. Look, I still got my cruise card on here. You book through the app. And when I first looked on there, the Star Walker show was not on there. And I was so disappointed. Like, that is the only thing that I wanted to see. But then we were, I don't know where we were at, but I checked the app. I think we was in the sports. Was we in the sports bar? We was somewhere. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Star Walker show on there. And I booked it immediately. 10 out of 10, y'all. 10 out of 10. Like, I have to show y'all some of this. Go watch the video. Go watch my YouTube video. Whoever they hired, he did an amazing job. Amazing job. All the dancers, they did an amazing job. The show was amazing. You got to go watch the vlog so you can see, because I did put some clips in there. I tried to put as much as possible without getting a copyright flag. But the show, 10 out of 10. Best show. We missed the white party. We were asleep. We literally, I think he woke up. I seen him going to the bathroom. And then he got back in the bed. I fell back to sleep. And then I'm like, wait, what time is it? The white party was over. We did not go. We didn't get to go to the white party at all. We woke up and just went back to the buffet and got something to eat. When it relates to drinks, alcohol, I didn't have any. He indicated he ordered a Miami Vice. He said his first one was good and the second one was okay. And he did have a couple of beers. I mostly drank water when I was on the ship. And I think I may have like some lemonade here and there. And I think I had, like I told y'all, a pop out of the bar, the mini bar that was in our room. But I didn't have any. When we did get to the private island, I did have like a mocktail type of drink. It was all right. It wasn't nothing to rip and rave over. It was just like a strawberry daiquiri margarita, something like that, without alcohol, of course. It was a mocktail. So that was his rating on the drinks. He didn't drink a lot either. So I think he had, like I said, 2 drinks and maybe like a beer or so. Okay, so we got to Ocean Cay, which is their private island. We did not go to Nassau. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. We did not go there. We went to Ocean Cay, which is MSC private island. It was really, really nice getting off. I would say just overall, because I have to speak overall, between the ship and the private island, this is like something where you come and you just chill. They had 8 different beaches on there. By the time we got off the ship, because that morning we woke up, we did go, he went to the gym, I went to go stretch at the top deck. So by the time we got off, the lighthouse tour that I kind of wanted to do, they weren't doing any more tours. We did not book any excursions, which I'm kind of glad we didn't, because they canceled them all, probably because of the weather. It wasn't raining or anything like that. Maybe the current was bad. I'm not sure. But they had 8 different beaches where one seemed like it was like a family beach where you seen everybody, the kids, mama, papa, grandma, papa, everybody was there. Then you had another beach where it was just like nobody there, was like very chill. And then you had North Beach where I went by myself because he ended up getting back on the ship to charge his phone. I crossed over and it was no children over there. And they also have like a VIP section as well. I did hear them playing some little hip hop over there. I'm not gonna lie. Like just a little bit. But I went to the beach and sat there. That's where I got my actual mocktail from. And I wasn't over there for that long. I feel my camera getting hot, y'all. And then so yeah, his view of Ocean Cay or Cay, I don't know, everybody's pronouncing it differently. He said it was cool. The food choices were, he said the food choices at the private island were better than on the cruise ship. That was his opinion. I will say they did have some jerk chicken, so I will say they were better, because I had jerk chicken and I had corn on the cob, and if you know me, I love me some corn on the cob, baby. I will tear corn on the cob down. Jerk chicken was good, no problems out of that. They had fruit. And then he indicated they could have, you know, more activities on the beach, more excursions, more music. You know, I didn't really hear any music either, like on the family side and the quiet side. On the adult side, at the little bar that they had, they were playing music over there. Like I said, he was on the ship during then. To rate the cruise, he gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And I gave it an 8 out of 10. Disembark, once we got off the ship, it was very organized. We didn't have any problems getting off. And actually, we were able to take a bus instead of paying a whole bunch of money to use Uber to get to the restaurant we were going to. If you want to know my little trick, let me know. But we was able to take a bus to get where we were going to. But all in all, our cruise experience with MSC was very, very well. I don't have any complaints. Like he said, other than people using common sense and home training, you know, with like digging in the food and stuff like that. Everything else was, you know, fine. I was trying to see this. Oh, I almost forgot. We stayed in the front. Our cabin was in the front of the ship, which I'm always in the middle because I normally select the cabin that I want to be in. However, because the ship was sold out, like I told you guys, we did not get to select our room. We just got what was available, and that was in the front of the ship. Neither one of us had any motion sickness. We did not get seasick at all. Like I said, it was his first trip, so I did pack some medicine just in case, you know, he started to feel a little woozy and everything. But he was like, he did perfectly fine. He was literally like a champ. And I was surprised for myself because we were in the front. You could definitely feel the ship moving here and there, not the whole time, but it was no problems at all. So I feel like I would cruise with MSC again. I will say it's definitely good for solo travelers. I think I will go on MSC if I wanted to solo travel. And I was actually assisting my cousin because I was telling her about MSC and she went on. I will say they're cheaper than Carnival. They are cheaper. But it just depends on like what you want to do. And they do actually have some 3-day ships that is going to NASA. My cousin ended up just finding one for the end of March that's going to NASA and is going to Ocean Cay. And it's 3 days. So you spend part of the day at the private island and part of the day at NASA. So I wish we could have experienced that, but we didn't. But I feel like the trip, like I said, I rated 8. He rated a 7.5. It was enjoyable. We had an amazing time, whether it was relaxing, doing things that we wanted to do, but just being able to get away was enough for me, because you need a break from work sometimes, your daily life, your daily routine. So if you have not booked a trip, this is not a promotion, this is not a sponsorship. Make sure that you book a trip somewhere, whether it's a cruise, a staycation at a hotel out of town, something. Get away, go see something different, change your scenery, so that when you get back home you feel refreshed and you ready to attack that daily routine all over again. Oh wait, okay y'all, so I found what I was looking for. Before I close out. So our stateroom number was 13021, so 13021, and our experience was the Bella experience. So that's what I was telling you, the different selections that they have. So we did have the balcony room. We had the Bella experience. I guess they have different experiences. I don't know what each experience is, but that's what mine says. It says Bella on here. Yeah, so we had the balcony, and it was a 4-day, 3-night cruise. It wasn't bad though. It wasn't bad. And they do have like a lot of discounts. What I would say is, since I've booked and I've come back home, I've had a lot of promotions, like $500 credits and things like that, to that nature. So yeah, disembark was good. We got there early. So yeah, if you have any questions. Oh, another thing, I'm sorry, because I was about to close out. We didn't get, like I said, we didn't get a drink package, but we got the Wi-Fi package. If you can buy stuff ahead of time, buy it ahead of time, because that Wi-Fi package was very much expensive getting on that ship. Very much expensive. And I don't think we had any problems out of it at all. Even when we got to the private island, he said his phone wasn't really working. I wasn't really on my phone. I didn't really care. But you're supposed to have Wi-Fi at the private island. Another pro. See, I'm remembering stuff as I'm closing out. Another pro is, if you do have the drink package on the ship, you can use that when you get off the ship at the private island. So you don't have to pay for any food. You don't have to pay for any drinks on the island, unless you want to buy, like upcharge things or whatever the case may be. But if you have that drink package, you can use that same drink package when you get on that private island. Whereas Carnival, you can't do that. Your food is included, I believe, with Carnival. Like, I think they have like a Celebration Keys now. But I've been hearing that you cannot use your drink package when you get to Carnival's private island. So MSC, they did their big one with that. You don't really have to come out any extra money unless you want to. So for us, we didn't have the drink package. So I did buy like a little mocktail. But it's just left up to you. If you feel like you're going to drink 15 alcoholic drinks a day, hey, buy it. But we ain't do that over here. So that was another thing. But I think that's all. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. And if I have the answer, I would definitely respond to you guys. If I don't, I'll still respond to you guys. But if you made it this far, I thank you for tuning in. And make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos that are coming your way. All right, bye.